It just doesn't tell me. What's the one thing you wish everyone around you knew about getting divorced?
I got the divorce because I want my two daughters to know what a good, healthy marriage is like. I want two daughters to know that it's not okay for a husband to abuse or mistreat his wife. I want them to know that abusive behaviors in marriage are unacceptable. I want my two daughters to know that it's okay to walk away from toxic relationships. I don't want my two daughters to think that since I stay in the abusive relationship, if it happened the same to them, they would do the same thing. I don't want my two daughters to end up with a man like their dad, thinking that he was a good role model. Basically, I just want to raise up my standard and show my two daughters how to select a good husband.
How about by choosing wisely the first time? Before we jump into this, there's just something really obviously annoying about her voice. I don't know what it is, but there's something that just annoys me about that. Regardless, it's just funny how so many of these modern women just talk about how their ex-husbands were abusive or narcissists, and then I look more into their behaviors, and I see that they're the ones that are displaying this, right? And they are the ones that are getting on their social media and just broadcasting to the world about what a terrible partner their ex-husband was, running the smear campaign against their ex-husband. I mean, these are all the same exact traits of abuse and narcissism that they are proclaiming their husband was, right? I don't see the husband ever creating a TikTok account and saying, yo, guys, my wife. I don't think I've seen really any of those. Like, oh, guys, my wife, you know what? She was abusive, that cold-hearted bitch cheater. Even if they did cheat, they're not on their social media just completely bashing their ex-wives or the fact that they're going to divorce them. No, most of these guys are pretty silent about it. They try to maintain some level of respect for their ex-wife mostly because they don't want their children to see that. They don't want their children to be like, hey, I thought I could look up to you, Dad. You're not being a good role model. As she is saying, I want them to know what a good role model is. Well, how about not getting on your TikTok and smearing their father, right? Which is a common thing that these single moms do. They constantly brainwash the children and brainwash everyone around them to believe that the ex-husband was this evil man, this evil little man. He made my life miserable. But it goes back to, okay, you chose that guy. And not only that, just because I've been teaching this red pill stuff for a long time, and I've been out there in venues for as long as I have, and I've seen female behavior at its best, and unfortunately, I've also seen female behavior at its worst. And I've seen the latter a lot more commonly than the former, if you know what I mean. I've seen these women act really, really despicable towards men that they once dated, once proclaimed that they loved, that really just wanted to love them and just wanted to stay married and keep the home intact, right? And really gave their lives for them, only to be treated like this. I've just seen that happen way too often, where really, who the evil, destructive person in the relationship is, the narcissistic person. It wasn't the husband, it was the wife. Okay? So when I hear her rant about this, it's really hard for me to, I'm not saying she's lying or telling the truth, but I just, based on my experience, usually the woman has a very warped idea of what a narcissist is. It's never accurate. It's usually what they are, but they don't have the self-awareness to see that they're the ones who are. But when they say their husband's was abusive, he was abusive, it's usually the husband called her out on a few things, told her like, hey, basically told her, or didn't reward her bad behavior, right? He didn't get on both knees and kiss the ring. Instead, he stood his ground, right? Probably not as firmly as he should have. He might have gone beta a few times, and that could happen too in relationships. Whereas you try to play both sides, like you try to be beta, but you try to be alpha. You can't be this wishy-washy type of dude in your relationship, whether you're married or have a girlfriend, because the girl will literally just rip you to pieces if she sees any hint of beta. And unfortunately, that's a situation with most of these guys why they get divorced, is they just go too beta on the wife. But in her case, I just don't buy it anymore when these chicks talk about how abusive their husband was or narcissistic. It's not okay. It's like, so basically you're saying he didn't give you exactly what you demanded from him, right? He didn't give you enough shopping money. He didn't buy you that new Louis Vuitton purse you wanted. So he's a abusive, narcissistic jackass all of a sudden. I just don't buy it. All right, next video, shall we? Okay.
I'm divorcing my husband. He's trying to tell me who I can have around our daughter. He's going to fight for this in court. Is it possible? Hi, my name is Billy Tarasio, owner of Modern Law Family Law Attorney in Arizona. If family law interests you, then hit that follow button. Okay, most of the time the answer is no. After you're separated or getting a divorce, anybody can make whatever choices they'd like to have their children around whomever they would like. The only time that that's an exception is if there are dangerous people around your child, or if there is a history of somebody being around dangerous people, in which case they would probably have supervised visitation. So I'm assuming, that you've got friends that he doesn't like, that
Yep.
husband doesn't like, or a significant other, and the general answer is no, he can't fight for this, and he's going to have a really uphill battle.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because here's another. I mean, it's just so true. I mean, just from a biblical perspective, like men build, women destroy. Or God uses men to build, Satan uses women to destroy. And you see so many women destroying their families, right? I mean, it's clear, obviously, because women file 80% of the divorces these days in America. And if the woman has a college degree, it's 90%. It's that high. But this woman is asking this divorce attorney's advice. She says she's going to divorce her husband because her husband is trying to tell her who he can have around their daughter. As this lawyer said, if the person is dangerous or the person's another dude you're bringing into the picture, or, who knows, what if this chick's like a drug addict, she's hanging around with the wrong element. As the father, he should be able to have say in who should be around his daughter, right? And vice versa, right? I mean, even the mom, if the husband's like doing dirt, the mom should be able to say, like, I don't want my husband taking my daughter around these mobsters or whoever else he's hanging out with. That's just your right as a parent, right? And it's unfortunate that it doesn't work that way in certain states. But it's just common sense. I mean, it sounds like the husband doesn't want his daughter, right? Because men, especially fathers, are very protective of the daughters, right? Very, very protective. This happens in all families, including my own with my sisters. My dad was like 1,000 times more protective over my sisters, because I have two sisters. He was 1,000 times protective over my sisters than he ever was over me and my brothers. No. It's just the way men are built. We're just wired to protect women, right? And especially if they are our own daughters. We want to know who they're going to be around. We want to know if they're creepy, perverted, pedophilic dudes that are going to be around our kid or child. So the fact that she's divorcing him, I don't know if she's divorcing him because of that, or She doesn't like that, but regardless, he should have that right. And it tells you everything you need to know about her. Like, it sounds like this guy is genuinely concerned about her daughter, but she is more concerned about, no, don't you tell me what to do. Oh, I could do whatever I want. Oh, now that I'm divorcing you, I could do whatever I want, bring around whoever I want, even if I want, bring in the next dude after you, it doesn't matter. You know, it's like, no, he wants to protect his daughter. And unfortunately, the laws may not be on his side. It's very sad, but yeah, let me guess. She's probably running around telling her friends and family, oh, he's so abusive and narcissistic, telling me what to do, that he doesn't want my daughter around pedophiles and perverts. Yeah, that's their definition of abusive. All right, last one.
I am 6 months post-divorce, and I just wanted to say that, well, first off, I want to preface, I never thought I would get divorced, literally ever. I mean, I'm sure most of us think that. But 6 months ago, I thought my world was over. I thought I was literally going to crumble and die. Like, nothing was as bad as getting divorced to me. And let me just tell you, if you're someone who's struggling today, or this week or this month, it gets better. Oh my gosh, it gets so much better. Life gets better. You start working on yourself and finding out who you are, and you will be okay. I promise you. I am living proof of it gets better.
You
so
are?
Trust me on that, and you will be okay.
So all you divorced women, it gets better, as she says. You, too, can divorce your husbands. End up in your car alone at night in a parking lot doing a TikTok video about how you can join me in this quest for fun. Yeah, the last person you should listen to, ladies, is another divorced female. If anything, you should hunt out your married friends and ask them what's the secret sauce for keeping their relationship together. How do you keep your husband happy? That's a question that a lot of modern women just don't want to ask these days. How do you keep a man happy? They don't care, right? I don't care. It's about me. I gotta find me. Gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta do me, right? Girl boss, slay queen. Gotta do me. What about your kids? It's about me, right? It's just so sad, right? And so unfortunate. These chicks are so lost. They're so lost. And she's here, bragging about the fact, look at me, I'm living proof of how happy you can be in my car doing this TikTok in the middle of the night in a parking lot. Just be like me, right? It's all fun and games too. When these chicks are still fairly young, right? She looks like she's in her early 30s. It's not fun and games 10 years later when she's 40 or 20 years later when she's 50. It's not hard to find like other chicks who are 20 years your senior who did exactly what she did, who are now 50, divorced, and getting flaked on, ignored, and used by low-value dudes on Match.com or eHarmony or take your pick, plenty of whales, right? It's no fun at that age, but this chick is still in her early 30s, and as I always say, these chicks still have the mentality like they're still in their 20s. It's all fun and games up until they get older, and here goes Gizmo. They get older and they're not, they don't have any of the social value they did when they were younger. But as always, gentlemen, drop those comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Let Gizmo know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Drop the comments below. As always, this is M from the 33 Secrets signing out. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell for me as well. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And for you guys who want to support my work and everything I'm teaching here, best way to do that is just jump into 7 months of mastery. Right now, it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me, so take advantage of it. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, right, Giz? 2 seconds. So do that now. Do it for me. Do it for Giz. Do it for Cash sleeping over there. And we'll see you in the next coaching video, right? All right, we're out. Say bye. Say bye, Giz. Oh, shoot. I almost shut it off.